Hi guys and welcome back to the channel Held Dominance. Anthony here. Please remember to like and subscribe, and also please click that notification bell if you enjoy what you've seen and if you want to see more. Coming up in today's episode, we have a look into the fixtures between Leeds Rhinos and Catalans Dragons, and also Wigan Warriors and Huddersfield Giants, with highlights and words from the manager and my own reviews. Plus Rugby League Mons, a blockbuster, friendly lifesaver. So we begin today at Wigan Warriors, as there was a passing of a great player. Centres haven't been my focus when it came to Rugby League, but the influx of foreign-based centres that came over to Super League or Rugby League when it was in the 90s, whether it's Iro, Bell, well, either Iro to be honest, Kevin being the one notable, Gary Connolly, yeah, I'm going through Wigan ones at first, then you go for Paul Newlove, one-time world record transfer centre, who else, Shante Happy, Toiko Love, good centres, really good centres. But this man was the centre that caught my eye, and that's Vainga Twigamala. And this morning, 24th of February 2022, it was announced that Vainga Twigamala had passed away at the age of 52. Inga the winger played 102 games for Wigan during 5 seasons at the club between 1993 and 1997. And scored a fantastic 62 tries. With the heritage number 888, according to the Wigan website, Twigamala made his debut on the 4th of February 1994 at Norton Park against Widnes. He scored on a debut with a try in a 27 points to 12 win. During his time at Wigan, he won 3 league leaders titles, 2 Challenge Cups, 2 Regal trophies, 1 Premiership title, and 1 World Club Challenge. Oh, and did I forget? He went over with the Wigan team to win the Middlesex Sevens. Oh, and the team that he played with? Well, Jason Robinson, Gary Connolly, Martin O'Fire, Sean Edwards, Andy Farrell, and Scott Quinnell. Yes, that Jason Robinson, that Sean Edwards, who's in charge of France, that Andy Farrell, Ireland Rugby Union, and Scott Quinnell, the ex-Wales international. This small bit of action summarises what he was like. He gets the ball in support and just bounces off the defence, and the defence just bounce off him, even when he's celebrating. Legends of both codes were talking about the big man, Jason Robinson, OBE, who had his bit of an indifference time before Vainga Twigamala turned up at Wigan. He said, absolutely heartbroken. I owe so much to this amazing man. Literally helped change my life when he came to Wigan Warriors from New Zealand. Sending all my love and condolences to the family at such a sad time. Rest in peace, brother. There may be opponents on the pitch. Iporo Perolini said, saddest news to hear. We started primary school together and we took our rugby journey to the UK. Saints for me and Wigan Warriors for you, my brother. Rest in love, my dearest brother, Inga the winger Twigamala. Before tonight's game against Huddersfield, Wigan held a 1-minute silence in tribute to the big man, and it was served impeccably by all in attendance. In a statement on behalf of Wigan Warriors and himself, Chris Radlinski, the executive director, said, every now and then a player comes along who touches the hearts and souls of every single fan, player, coach and administrator. Inga was one of them. He was one of the most exciting rugby players to play either code. His presence on a rugby pitch was huge. As a teenager, he gave me the most precious thing anyone could do. gave me time. We would spend hours on the field doing one-on-ones together. It's a very sad day for the club. Rest in peace, my friend. So Wigan Warriors was born on the 4th of September 1969 and was 52. Wow, and he passed. He started off his rugby career at Ponsonby in New Zealand and also represented Auckland. He played for the New Zealand All Blacks in rugby union as a winger from 1989, and then he moved to Wigan in 1993. He also had a biography published in 1993 named Inga the Winger. He remarkably improved his fitness to play as a centre in a team that consisted of Martin O'Fire, Gary Connolly and Jason Robinson across the back line, with Chris Radlinski coming in later on in his career. When rugby union became openly professional, he was one of the first players to cross over, with Wasps signing him and winning the English Premiership. He later joined the Newcastle Falcons in a world record £1 million deal in what was a successful period for him. He scored a hat-trick on his third appearance for Newcastle against Moseley at Kingston Park and was an important part of the 1998 championship winning side, making 16 appearances that season. He then delayed an arm operation to put in a man-of-the-match performance in the 2001 Cup final. Upon signing for the Falcons, Doddy Weir, his teammate at the time, called Twiggamala simply the best rugby league player in the world. A rugby player in the world. His debut for West Samoa in 1996 came against Ireland, going on to play 23 test matches, scoring 3 tries. He was an important part of the Samoa squad in the 1999 World Cup. A devout Christian, and in particular for his influences on Jason Robinson, a teammate at Wigan. He is known for helping Jason Robinson so much. Credits Wigamala for basically saving his life. A good man off the pitch, a fierce competitor on it, another one that will probably run over you, smile at you, and then to pat you on the back. All I can say at this point is rest in power, Angus Wigamala. So now I'm going to bring you the highlights of one Super League game and also the report on the second Super League game, as these two games were between Leeds Rhinos versus Catalan Dragons at Headingley Stadium, which was live on Sky Sports, and Wigan Warriors versus Huddersfield Giants, which had no TV listings, which was very surprising, as the first game has 1 win between them, and the other two have 4. It was a race on to see who was going to get the third win of the season, but I digress. Let's have a look at the TV game first. Leeds Rhinos versus Catalans Dragons. There was 1 win between them, and that's Catalans Dragons, as they fought to a narrow win against Wakefield. They let Wakefield back in it massively, to be honest. And Leeds Rhinos were in the first Channel 4 game, close defeat against Warrington, and then getting mullered by Wigan. Can I say that? I just did. Anyway, here are the two teams, and we'll start with the away team first of all, as there are 4 changes overall. Gudemon, Laguerre, and Da Costa, who was on the bench, all drop out of the 17 altogether. And we see Benjamin Julien come into the side with Tom Davis and Paul Seguer starting. Well, all included in the squad. Instead, there is also a place in the starting lineup for Julian, who comes into the second row, and it looks like Mike McMeekin, who goes into the front row. For the home team, there was only one change in the starting lineup, as Mikhail Jaletsky comes into the starting lineup from the bench instead of Cameron Smith, who settles for a place on the bench. Brad Dwyer is back on the bench also, with Bodine Thompson, and Donaldson drops out as well as Johnson for the two replacements, Brad Dwyer and Jared O'Connor, who appears on the bench for the first time this season. So we get to the kickoff and the game's underway, and it's the standard fare. But unfortunately for Leeds, at around about 2 minutes, Alex Mellor is forced off the pitch due to what was innocuous challenge for a neck injury, and he was carried off on a stretcher. Due to this injury, would be replaced by Bodine Thompson. After a close call by Dwyer, Pariah and Olechki trying to get the Leeds over the line in a couple of drives, Leeds on the last decide to push the ball left and find the ball out to Ash Hanley, who is bundled out of touch, but despite that he threw the ball inside, but was called forward. But not long after, Leeds are in for the first try of the game. After a scramble close to the line as Blake Austin attacks after a good sidestep and a fumble, and he just keeps hold of the ball, it looks like that he's about to be tackled, and keeps the wherewithal, ball on the line, ball in his hand, and gets the ball over the line, which the video referee gives as a try. The kick was missed, unfortunately, but it was 4-0 to Leeds, and they had the early advantage. It was a grind, it was an arm wrestle between the two sides during most of this first half, with Leeds just getting a nose in front. But on the 27th minute, Catalans are close to the Leeds line, and they go through the hands of Pearce to Drinkwater to Tompkins, who flashes the ball out wide to Fuad Yah, who powers his way over for a painful try, which is eventually given after a quick look back to the video referee. And we got back into the grind as Sam Tompkins missed the kick, and it was 4-4. And the grind kept going until half time, where the game actually peters out with an even feel to the game, to be honest. And the only talking incidents were the 4 that I've just shown you. So, at half time, it's Leeds 4, Catalans 4, and a slog, probably the one with the best quality out of the two sides, will win this game. So we're coming to the second half, and it is an even game still for the opening moments of the match. Granted, Leeds came up with 2 close attempts to score. First one, there were 2 kicks to the corner on Tom Davies' side, which he had to field in some way to either get a 20-metre restart under pressure, or Catalans had to drop out. So Leeds were getting the better position during this early stages of the second half. On the third attempt of Leeds trying to get some field pressure on the Catalans defence, Aidan sees a chip kicked over to the right hand side, aiming at Fuad Yah, who looked like they had 2 Leeds defenders bearing down on him, to him on his own. But he jumped high enough and at full stretch to catch the ball, and landed painfully on his back, to be fair. He did really, really well. There were 2 bits of news after this though. Alex Mellor was being taken to hospital for a scan, precautionary measures at this time, and hoping that it is good news. And Sam Tompkins had to go off after he had a bit of trouble with his knee, and we weren't going to see him for the rest of the game either. So who did the impetus go to in the first points? Well, Catalans Dragons, of course. Attacking on the left-hand side, and Drinkwater puts in the ball in the back. But after Fuad Yaha challenged for the ball, he came up with it with the reset of the tackle. But Sam Cassiano's soft hands to Joe Chan for the score was a delight to see. Really was. In that challenge for Fuad Yaha getting the ball, it looked like that he pushed the Leeds fullback to get to the ball first, and it kind of played on the referee's mind as Fuad Yaha went over for a try and deemed Sami Solomon Langi had pushed the Leeds player when trying to challenge for the ball before Fuad Yaha put the ball down. So that try was wiped off. And that was the last of the scoring. After the kick was put over for 10 points to 4, it was also the full-time score as Catalans go on for their second win of the season. So who's my man of the match? Well, I'm going to give it to a Catalans player as they were a winning side today, but also they were most notable in defence and the defensive work that they did, as well as getting on the try scoring chart as well. And even though his opposite side really well to keep out Leeds as well, he was a little bit more fumbly. So, my man of the match, Catalans Dragons, Fuad Yaha. Fuad Yaha, spectacular catch to defuse an Aiden Caesar bomb. His interception to set Catalans back up the field again. Just in the right place at the right time, especially for his try. It's a great catch and his power to get over. There were flailing arms everywhere, so he could have been bumped and lost the ball, but he kept hold, got over the line and put the ball down. It was almost open for him, but he had to do a bit of work so that he could score. So he's my man of the match. So our next game is the untelevised game between Wigan Warriors and Huddersfield Giants. Huddersfield Giants, like Wigan, are on 2 wins from their 2 games so far and are looking to make it 3 from 3 with tonight's performance. So, who are in the teams for both sides? So like I do with every game, we have a look at the away side first, and it is a returning Will Price, who starts at fullback in place of Tuilola here, who is pushed into the halves, with Adam O'Brien coming in at hooker in place of the suspended Danny Levi. We see Ash Golding appear on the bench instead, with Joe Greenwood, Sebastian Ikehefo, and also Matty English. In the Wigan Warriors case, it is, if it's not broke, don't fix it, as they have named the same starting 17 as with their previous match's win, with 34 points to 12 victory against Leeds Rhinos. So in their 2 games so far, it's Hull KR and Leeds that have gone by the wayside to Wigan, and Huddersfield Giants have done Toulouse and Hull KR for Huddersfield as well. So they'll be able to gauge each other's prospects and where each team are at for this next 80 minutes. So here's the first try of the game. Wigan go to the left hand side and go through the hands of Luai, Kai Pearce-Paul to find Liam Farrell, who goes in for the first try of the game. Huddersfield comes straight back though, as we see that after a run by Ollie Russell, Chris McQueen goes over to tie the game up at 6-all. Not long after that, it's a Farrell double, as good work from Wigan finds Farrell on the outside line, and he goes in for his second. And Wigan are in for a third after some great running. Bibby's strength carries him over for the last try of the half at 16 points to 6. Huddersfield though come roaring back just after half time, and it's some great work to have Tua Lolohea go over for the first try of the half for a 16 points to 12 scoreline. But Tommy Lulai's half break finds Cade Cust, who passes back on the outside for John Bateman to score his first try of the season. As it's a final score of Wigan 22, Huddersfield 12. After the game, both coaches came out complimentary about their opponents, as they knew that they were going to be in a tough game. Home coach Matt Peet said, "It was a different kind of win tonight. It was a tough win against a tough team. I was impressed at how we dealt with the early spell on when Cade Cust left the field. We had things to move things around a bit and we dealt with it. Tommy was outstanding. He had a few key tackles and passes at key times, alongside Sam Powell. They were fundamental to a lot of our work tonight." Ian Watson was also pleased with the performance. "I thought we competed well for large parts of the game. We didn't show enough resilience in the first half. We conceded a penalty coming out on the last tackle, and then we defended the goal line and conceded straight away. We worked hard to get back into the game. We gave ourselves a shot and then bombed a couple of opportunities. I think we knocked on 2 over the try line. We get them, and you have put Wigan in a real game. There was a lot of positives around it. The boys have worked really hard." And that's it for another episode, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe and click that notification bell for any updates that may be coming your way. Tell me what your thoughts are on today's games. Do you think that Huddersfield were unlucky? I feel that they were, going off what Ian Watson had said during the post game. I've only got to see the highlights and read the social media quotes. I know that the weather was terrible during the game, but yeah, Wigan came out with a 3 from 3 now. They went 8 from 8 last season. Not as many points scored, to be honest, as this season, but hopefully the momentum can keep going so that Wigan are a force for me, that is. But do you think Wigan will be up there come the end? Semi-finalists in the playoffs? Or do you think that they could be early season momentum but drift off at the end if they get a couple of injuries? That's what I was playing in the back of my mind. Anyway, what about the Leeds game? Do you think that Leeds have got a few problems to sort out before they could become a force in the Super League this year? And Catalans, are they starting to splutter into life? 2 wins now, gained confidence. They were loving the defensive display. They nailed Leeds in the second half and did some work, but it was against a depleted Leeds side, not their full strength. And it could be a different game altogether if it was a full strength side for both sides. Anyway, I will say thank you very much for watching. I hope you appreciate my tribute to Vaingas Wigamala. But in the meantime, please stay safe, all the best, and I'll see you in the next video.